Hello, good afternoon on this beautiful Easter Sunday, and welcome to ECC Division 4 playoffs. League play is done and dusted, and the top 4 teams from Division 4 will be duking it out tonight to see who can get their promotion into Division 3 for next season. My name is Machtfish, and I'm joined by our resident Division 4 expert and our partner from Rocket Sundays, Herbie. How are you doing, man?
Very good to be here for the first playoff match of what is sure to be a fantastic conclusion to the ECC season. And we're kicking it off with Bad Karma versus Irrelevant Esports Purple, the top 2 finishing teams in Division 4. I have personally experienced thrashings at the hands of both of these teams, and I can comfortably say there's a lot of quality here, so it should be a really good watch.
It should indeed be quite a good series to watch, and of course, with playoffs being the last leg of the season, these two teams already have met in league play. Herbie, can you tell me a bit how that went about between these two teams?
It was a scoreline that certainly bodes well for the match that we're about to see in front of us. It was Bad Karma taking it in 5 games. They came back from 2-1 down in the series to muster up that one. Pretty low scoring series on the whole, but plenty of shots for both teams. The offense was certainly there. Good rotation all round, but the composition of the players we see in the lobby are slightly different. No Breezel today for ILV Purple.
Yeah, Breezel setting out initially at least. Maybe he'll sub back in, but Sizer will start. Maybe that's one adjustment they made between the league play series they had and the game that they're going to play now.
Well, they're going to want any advantage that they can gain here to try and move on to the final. This being the upper bracket series, the winner of this one will get themselves a nice 1-game advantage in the final and a little bit of a leg up against whoever emerges victorious from the bottom half. So there's a lot at stake here. It's nice for both of these teams through their good league play performance, of course, that if they lose this one, they'll get themselves another chance to rise back up into the final, but the pressure is high.
The pressure is definitely on both teams. You know, finishing top 2, they've did what they had to do in league play, but now it comes all down to this one day and how you can cope with the pressure of not be only this being playoffs and being such a decisive series, but also do you can hold your nerves steady and not play not play very effective by the nerves, because this is on stream and playoffs usually attract quite a good number of viewers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And prediction-wise, what are you going for? I'm personally on the side of ILV Purple. They were offensively dynamic when we played against them. They put 10 past us in Game 2 of our series. Morgan Zeitung in particular, a very good offensive player, scores goals, gets 1.42 assists per game on the stats that I have up as well. And that will be very useful in this series.
Yeah, Morgan Zeitung, definitely a player that can make a difference, and I will also be siding with ILV Purple on this one. I think they have the energy and they want to get their revenge from league play, and I think that they are probably going to be able to do it, as we just have to wait for a little bit for the ILV Purple side to be completed. One of them has just left the lobby. So what do you think is the key to this best of 7 series? So don't forget, this is not best of 5. This is a best of 7. So it's going to be maybe potentially a very, very long series ahead of us.
Yeah, early games in a best of 7 are not usually completely indicative as to the result of the series. It's not really like a best of 5 where you go 1-0 up in a best of 5 and realistically your advantage is huge. You've got a massive chance of winning the series from that point onwards. But winning 4 games in a best of 7 is a pretty long slog, and even if you take game 1, it's not massively important. You've still got a long way to go. So for both of these teams, they want to try and establish this footing in game 1. You take game 1, you move into game 2 as the more confident team and try and pile up some goals early in the second game. Then you're making an impact upon the wider series as a whole. So the message to both of these teams is just stay calm in the early going, I'd say. Even if you don't take game 1, you're still very much in this series. So it's about limiting those mistakes and rotation cuts in the early going.
And that is a beautiful sentiment to let our players now join the field. Bad Karma side eagerly joining in, as now also ILV Purple joining in, and we have a first kickoff, a central kickoff, no diagonal. So it's going to be an interesting Watch, and how is this first kickoff gonna come out? It is Bad Karma versus ILV Purple. Jack versus Wi-Fi. Sizer takes over, gets immediately dunked by Rice, who gets bumped away. Morgenzeitung looking for Sizer up front. Miss on the backboard. This pass mid is there, but the rotation is not quite there yet. Jack misses it. Rice with the shot that's going top corner, but not quite the accuracy they needed. It's a good chance for Bad Karma, though, in the early stages, as now Jack goes up, blocks Morgenzeitung Irish, up with a shot. Can Wi-Fi get to it? No, he can't. Is there a follow-up from Jack? Yes, there is, but the save from Sizer coming in from the side, saving it to the side, and Bad Karma can't convert under early pressure as ILV Purple now try to mount an attack.
2 players up in the air there for ILV Purple, but it's Wi-Fi who gets contact on it, launches it up off the backboard, and Rice will be in there to make the clear themselves. ILV Purple just beginning to apply some pressure, and they get a demo in midfield as well. Bad Karma trying to escape their own half at the moment, and Reese is on their own at the back. Launches a pass forward, that's a nice look for Jack, banks it off the corner, gets it back again in midfield, but no shot on target comes of it. We've got no goals here in the first minute of the game. Both teams have had chances, as Wi-Fi looks to cut in now, but Jack makes the save out to the wing.
Jack diving across, and now Wi-Fi looking up to set up Sizer. Rice can deal with it. Flip reset in defense. Interesting decision at this skill level, but it works out for them. Irish bumps it, just clangs it down the field. Jack can adjust from the side. Well, Irish there to follow up, but now Rice in his corner takes a long shot. Morgenzeitung no problem with that one. Rice though can pick the loose ball up. Sizer only as far as Jack. That's a difficult block to have there. Jack fakes one. Can he get it past Wi-Fi? No, he can't. That was a good opportunity for them, but they, again, the accuracy a bit lacking here for Bad Karma, and ILV Purple clear their lines, but Morgenzeitung, holy smokes, what was that? Rice maybe gets distracted by Seaway and puts it into the corner flag. That was absolutely shambolic shooting. That needed to be the first goal for Bad Karma here.
Yeah, these two teams are not quite connecting on their passing plays there. I think you can certainly feel the nerves between both sides at the moment. Still scoreless for the time being, but this is promising from Rice. And the defenders collide there. It's going to come back into the corner. Bad Karma have another opportunity to try again. Irish into the middle for Jack, but that shot is going wide of the post. Wi-Fi will get it out in the direction of Sizer, who gets one on target, and Reese comfortably makes a save into the corner. We're approaching the halfway point. Morgenzeitung from distance puts a shot on, and it's saved by Jack. Wi-Fi will have another go. That one didn't have too much speed on it, so Bad Karma will gratefully clear, but I'm really surprised that there hasn't been a goal so far. It feels like both teams have had their chances.
Both teams definitely created their chances, but I think it's more of a thing of not the defense being not too strong, but the offense just being lacking for both of those teams. As Sizer with a great layoff to Wi-Fi, can he get the double touch? No, he cannot, and Morgenzeitung already rotated all the way back, so not a lot of trust there in his teammate, or to keep the rotation alive and to keep the pressure alive there. As now Bad Karma used that space that has been given to them. Jack, pass one, gets the pass in middle, but Irish moves out of mid, moves out of his second man position there. Really unfortunate because the pass was really, really strong. He could have made something happen here. As Morgenzeitung to Wi-Fi, the shot over the target. Both teams, the shooting accuracy simply not there, as there's a grip block here from Rice, and ILV Purple seem to build their home now into the Bad Karma half.
Irish try to get over the top, Wi-Fi intercepts, it's an open goal, and it's 1-0 to ILV Purple. They finally got the first one, and it really feels like that goal takes on some increased importance given how long it took.
That is indeed 1:40 only left on the clock, so a late goal here in game number 1 for Wi-Fi, flexing his Season 1 RNGenius role. Very rare sight to see that one in Div 4, but that was a great achievement for him, as Jack just immediately from the kickoff takes the ball after Rice's strong kickoff, and no one from ILV Purple is back to save that flick, and it's equalized almost immediately.
Yeah, no secondary player up for that from ILV Purple. It is a rotation mistake that I mentioned at the beginning of the series, and well, having just gone 1-0 up, that's a real dagger for them to give that one away. They were in control of this game and they've let it slip immediately. They can't let their heads drop though, as they're going to get the ball back in their defensive end as Rice misses this one. Opportunity to clear for Wi-Fi, and it pops out in front of Morgenzeitung, who misses it. Gets a fake out of Irish as well though, so Sizer will keep the play going for the time being. It comes off the ceiling and Jack will have to direct that one into the opposition corner. Morgenzeitung is there to receive it and lofts it into the centre. Dangerous for the defenders to deal with, but Sizer is onto it. And players just slowed up a little bit here as we're approaching the final minute.
Morgenside just trying to buy his teammates a lot of time to go for boost, as now they transition up Sizer. Can he get the bump on Irish? No, not quite. Morgenside up beats Rice in the air. Sizer is not turning. Wise decision of him to just fall back, get the boost. But someone has to challenge that ball, and Jack nearly puts it away past both of those defenders. Very passive there on the back wall, and neither of them really going for it. That was nearly the mistake that cost him dear in this game number 1.
30 seconds to go now. Either team can take it from this point. It is deadlocked at the moment. Morgenside one-on-one with the defender, and Rice taps it away into the corner. Sizer's going to send it back for Wi-Fi. Hits the crossbar. It comes away for Bad Karma as they look to strike a quick counter-attack but can't keep hold of possession. Sizer will be onto it. Rice deflects it off the ceiling, and Jack will have to step in to make the clear. The pressure is all on Bad Karma at the moment. The Sizer puts it back in, and Jack clears it out from the mixer. It'll be Wi-Fi's turn to have another go. Getting it central. Sizer will try and get a touch on it. Nothing is doing. Last chance will fall for Bad Karma. Jack puts it in off the back wall, but can't get an extra touch, and we have overtime in game 1.
Overtime in the first game. That is what you love to see, and a fake kickoff here from Morgenside. So that looked really wonky, but somehow it worked out, and now ILV Purple do have a bit of pressure here. Wi-Fi now. Will he take his control? No, he just boom it against the back, but Jack doesn't have to read. Gets it down. Wi-Fi with the shot, and after 17 seconds, ILV Purple take game number 1.
Massive performance there in overtime from ILV Purple. Wi-Fi had to keep their composure on that shot with 2 defenders still along the goal line, and they did so to give ILV Purple the underdogs in this series as the 2nd seed, and losing 3-2 in league play. They are now 1-0 up here in the playoffs.
They are now indeed 1-0 up, and the series and league play started in exactly the same fashion, with ILV Purple winning the first one over Bad Karma, though I don't think it was in this emphatic fashion here, as we see both teams trying to create stuff on offense, but at the end, the accuracy is just not there for either team, really.
Yeah, huge performance from Wi-Fi in this one, though. 668 points, couple of goals on 7 shots, and 3 saves to boot. Clutch performance from them for ILV Purple to take the lead here in this best of 7. And now an opportunity for them to really crank up the pressure on Bad Karma heading into game 2. I mentioned it before the start. They're going to be given a little bit more free roam to play their style of game now. It was a very bitty game 1. Neither team really had a consistent foothold on the momentum, as shown by how they exchanged the kickoff goals in the middle. And it's going to be interesting to see if ILV Purple or indeed Bad Karma change up their tactics. Now one team has struck first blood, the dynamic may be altered.
And not only did they strike first blood, but they managed to do so in OT. And so that's something that was going to have a psychological impact on Bad Karma, I feel like, where then they've got it this close to win this game number 1 to gain the initial momentum here. Yet they just fell short at the end due to, well, what can only be described as a bizarre kickoff, which somehow worked out for ILV. So you've got to feel a bit gutted if you're them.
Well, here comes Jack, looking to put the first shot on in the game for Bad Karma. It's a relatively straightforward save there for Wi-Fi. Sizer was there to follow up, but the ball just bobbled on him a little bit. So it will be Irish instead, looping it forwards, trying to push it into the centre. Sizer with the back pass there in the direction of Wi-Fi, who takes hold of it, adventures through midfield, stopped by Jack at the first attempt. So it will be Morgenside instead. There's one defender back at the moment, it's Irish. They do get it out. Sizer into the middle for Wi-Fi. Back off the left wing as they're looking to fashion out a passing play here. In for Sizer, and one-on-one with the defender there. Couldn't turn it goalwards, but ILV Purple looking good in the early going.
Purple looking strong, and maybe they can strike first blood yet again in game 2. No, they can't. It bounces off the post, and Jack now transitions out, gets it past 2. You can't do that. Those people are families, Jack. You've literally broke all their fucking axles.
Oh boy, what a way to score the first goal of game 2. It's a huge momentum shifter there for Bad Karma. Fantastic play, and Jack finishes it off at the far post. 1-0 to them. They're going to have to try and expand upon that, I feel, in this game too. ILV Purple are going to want to come back after a statement of a goal like that.
Yeah, and we're not going to gloss over the fact that Rice, you just missed the openest of nets, but it worked out because your teammate was there for you. Now Wi-Fi with the ceiling shot doesn't trouble Irish though. Sizer already up, beats it. Can he get a double? No, he can't. Morgenside now up with the drop against the post. Wi-Fi with the follow-up. No Bad Karma defender on site, and now we are equally not as equally fast tied up as we were in game 1, but still very fast, and we are equalized.
Yeah, a goal like that, it is beginning to feel like ILV Purple are capable of producing this offense at will. It's not come quite as easily for Bad Karma, you feel, so far in this series. Opportunity for them to rectify that, but it's a huge kickoff from Sizer. Straight on goal, and Jack has to divert that away. Sent back in by Morgan Zeitung, who took the demo for their troubles. They'll respawn in the back left corner and lead possession off the Sizer, who takes it across midfield, looking over to the far corner. No boost to work with, but a great pinch. That will head goalwards, but there's no ILV player to follow up on this one, and it stays 1-1.
It stays 1-1, but the ball still very much in the Bad Karma side. Wi-Fi with a great block there against Irish, but no follow-up from one of his teammates. As now Wi-Fi looking for a pass, can't quite get it. Morgan Zeitung misjudged that one, and now they have to scramble back. Wi-Fi on the backboard, leaves it to Sizer, clangs it downfield. Irish can easily deal with that, but he doesn't have any boost to work with. Gets it mid, but there's no one defender. Where's the attacker, though? None of the attackers just moving up to get a block on that one. So a bit timid here from the ILV Purple side. I don't exactly know why, because they seem to be outpacing or at least getting the solid 50s against Bad Karma very consistently in this game.
With a big miss there from Irish, Jack will step into the play instead. It's taken back but missed again by Wi-Fi. Demo in midfield opens up play and Sizer makes the clear. Bad Karma will recuperate in their own half. They've got 2 men moving forwards, one on the left wing. Looks for the pass in field and it's taken back by Wi-Fi. Jack sends it straight forward, so Morgan Zeitung is alone at the back. Wi-Fi will have to make a good clearance here, and it's in the direction of Morgan Zeitung towards an open net, and 2-1 now to ILV Purple.
It is 2-1 Wi-Fi to Morgan Zeitung, and Rice just didn't have the read there. Was too low, maybe too fast on jump off, or lacked the boost. Very unfortunate for him as third man. If you are committing there, you have to make sure to at least get a 50 there to buy your teammates a bit more time. You cannot just straight whiff the ball. That's unfortunately exactly what happened, as now Wi-Fi trying again off the ceiling. Really looking set on scoring a ceiling shot in this goal. Jack gets it around. No, doesn't get it around Sizer. He gets a great 50 in there. Passes it back to Morgan Zeitung, but he'll call on Wi-Fi to help him out against Rice. He gets the ball now in the corner. Jack already up. Backflips though on his recovery, so no shot coming here from Irish, who puts it wide. Sizer was the lone man back as Rice puts it on target. Wi-Fi gets it out, but it's still in the possession of Bad Karma. The attack is still going on as Rice now trying to take a shot. Gets it over one. Sizer on the backboard gets a good touch into the corner, and now ILV Purple can clear their lines.
No boost to work with for Sizer, but fakes one. Suddenly the ball's coming straight back. Morgan Zeitung with the first save, but can't keep out the second effort. Huge pinch there through midfield, and Bad Karma were in behind the defence. ILV Purple can't have been expecting that one, and the clear wasn't too powerful. Good reactions there from Jack to be on hand to tie the game up at 2-2.
And that is the aggressiveness that Bad Karma need right now. That was a really poor 50 from Sizer. That you should have expected that was going to pinch, and you can't fit 50 there from that angle. Now Morgan Zeitung gets a weird touch on it. Wi-Fi sets up Sizer, who backflips. Jack can easily collect that loose ball. Morgan Zeitung misses the read here. Jack with the pass into middle to Rice, and Rice nails it underneath the crossbar. It's 3-2 now for Bad Karma. They've turned this game number 2 fully around.
Excellent pass in there from Jack. Morgan Zeitung maybe could have done better there on the first clearance attempt. It was a relatively safe ball to go for, but credit to Bad Karma for continuing to move the attack forwards. This is turning into their game, unless ILV Purple can muster up something in the next minute or so. They're down by 1 for the time being. Sizer gets an excellent block in here. They'll try and drop it down in the middle. It's on the goal line, and Morgan Zeitung has their second of the game. ILV Purple tied up.
And yet again, in quick equalizer, Sizer faking his touch, or I'm just going to call it a fake there, to get out the first defender of Bad Karma. Then Morgan Zeitung just has to read quicker than anybody else and just gets the ball, 50 it in, and is now tied up with only 1 minute left to play. Sizer, it's a difficult touch for Morgan Zeitung to deal with. Needs to get it past to Wi-Fi, who takes it on across the wall, but gets demoed by Rice. That was a good demo. 2 demos, in fact, coming out from Bad Karma. Irish with a lot of time on his hand, but Sizer already up to make that ball go away. Morgan Zeitung letting it drop. Past Jack as well. Irish has to deal with it, and he does so successfully. So the ball is looping in again. Rice does have a touch, and with 30 seconds remaining, we could still be heading into the second overtime of this series.
But as with game one, it's ILV Purple who are on the attack in the late stages, only for it to be cleared up to halfway, sent back by Wi-Fi. This will be a tricky ball for Rice to deal with, and it pops out in front of the goal. They get it over to the far wing, when Morgan Zeitung is there to put some pressure on. Sizer puts it back in, off the backboard and cleared away by the defender. Nicely done, all the way to the halfway line to alleviate any danger, and suddenly the ball is in the ILV Purple defensive third as the final seconds tick off. Wi-Fi will launch it out as far as they can, and it will touch the ground before anything else can happen. Another overtime here.
Overtime, not only in game 1, but also in game number 2, as we see a more traditional kickoff here from ILV Purple. No shenanigans happening here as Irish gets the control, but just gives away possession to Wi-Fi. Can easily deal with it. He's now on a one-on-one with Jack, who sits at the back post too much, has no momentum to cover the goal, and again, a second very fast overtime in favor of ILV Purple.
The Wi-Fi connection is good. Another overtime win here for ILV Purple, and another crucial pair of goals for Wi-Fi. They lead this series 2-0 now, and now in this best-of-7 context, the pressure ramps up on Bad Karma. Having led 3-2 in the final minute of this one, this was the kind of game they needed to put away.
They needed that for the series, but now ILV Purple have got that second game, which you talked about in the pre-show, is so hugely important as would be the first one in a best of 5. So how Bad Karma now have to do something. It's been 2 very, very close games, but what are the main concerns of Bad Karma? What do they have to fix ASAP to get some sort of hold back into the series?
Well, it sounds like an obvious response, but the defending was lacking there for Bad Karma, particularly on that equaliser in the final minute of the game. That ball should never have been allowed to drop right in front of the goal on the goal line like that. It's very difficult to defend in a scenario like that, but you've got to maintain that box in front of your goal and try and keep ILV Purple restricted to shooting opportunities from the wings and not these crucial ones that are just straight in front of the net. They looked very good going the other way in this one, Bad Karma. They had 3 goals on 6 shots themselves, a couple of good connecting on the passing plays, but they need to lock up at the back to try and get back into the series here in game 3.
Yeah, the defensive rotation definitely an issue here as we get into game number 3. Both ILV and Bad Karma roaring to go, instantly joining yet again as we have the first kickoff here. But ILV Purple, they of course be looking for an early goal here. So really what Bad Karma needs is not only a quick goal, but maybe some really good defensive actions, some really clutch saves, and some good possession play to just calm the nerves, because right now I'm seeing they want to do a lot and they want to do stuff that's very inconsistent. They might have to just go back a bit more to the basics, take control, take your time, and not make any touches like Irish just did, just setting size up with the shot on the silver platter. And yeah, that's probably their way forward. Just keep it to basics, but execute those basics consistently and well.
From midfield now, Morgan Zeitung looking for Sizer, who drops the ball back down. Morgan Zeitung will get it back again, but no boost to work with. Huge clearance there off 2 Bad Karma players. Reese will put it back across the face of the goal, where Jack will take it on, looking to put a shot in from distance, but the ball is coming back dangerously. Morgan Zeitung out to the wing to clear, and a huge 50 win as well. Headed goalwards going the other way. They tried to steal the corner boost, but missed it. Will come back and receive it this time. Reese clears it out to the wing, and Jack helps it on. Irish not on hand to follow it in though, so it'll be Wi-Fi instead. Heading it goalwards, Reese makes the clear out to Jack. Over the halfway line they go. No trouble yet for Bad Karma.
No trouble yet, but maybe trouble for ILV Purple. But Wi-Fi, brilliant, taking his time, taking control of the ball and faking the attacker out. That's what we love to see. Now Sizer drops it towards goal. Miss on the backboard from one, and that miss is huge as Morgan Zeitung just muscles it in for the first goal for ILV Purple in this game number 3.
It's a very good pass in from Sizer, but it's another one of those balls that just pops out in front of the net, and the box isn't there for Bad Karma. That clearance had to be made back out to the wing, and they didn't do so. And ILV Purple now looking for an opportunity to go 3 games to the good in this series. This is a huge game for their momentum. Once you put yourselves in that position where the opposition require a reverse sweep, the confidence will just begin to build.
The confidence is definitely already building. If you see how ILV Purple are playing, huge clear now from Wi-Fi down to Sizer. Can he get a 50 there? Yes, he can, but Jack manages to position his car rather nicely there for this 50. Jack now again taking control, flicking it against the backboard, but Wi-Fi already there. That's the problem. Bad Karma are just gifting away possession too easily. But right here, Irish says, no, we want to stop your momentum. We're going to stop it right now with an equalizer.
Well, credit to Bad Karma where it's due. Their defense has not been on form so far in the series, but they're not letting their heads drop. They continue to find these attacking plays and thumps into the back of the net. 1-1 here with 3 minutes to go. Next kickoff comes through and Morgan Zeitung pushes it forwards in the direction of Wi-Fi. Reese taps it downwards. Bit of an awkward clearance, but they take control of it and dribble it out to the corner. Morgan Zeitung sends it back in. Sizer looked to drop it down. Wi-Fi opted to hang back for the time being. They get a tap on it. Sizer will have to lay it off for Morgan Zeitung, and ILV Purple do clear their lines now. Heading forwards into the offensive corner where it banks off the ceiling, and Wi-Fi was up for that one. Couldn't get the shot goalwards. It stays 1-1 at the halfway point.
It stays 1-1, but again, no follow-up here from ILV Purple. There's a big miss that invites Wi-Fi into the 50 there. Now Morgan Zeitung, does he get the 50? Yes, he can, and the ball drops dangerously again, but this time Irish is there to clear it away from his own net, though it's already sent back by Wi-Fi. And it's a bit of ping-pong here from both teams. Neither team really taking on possession as you would like to see it. Reese now against the backboard. Wi-Fi, does he have the read? Yes, he has, but Jack is there for a follow-up. Morgan Zeitung and Sizer, both with their shot, both with the save there. And they clear their lines. Wi-Fi, great cut in now. They're in a 2v1 situation. They need the pass mid. The pass is good, but it's a bit too wide. And Sizer has also just pushed up that bit too far and is not able to get on the back of that pass.
Sizer intercepts the ball in midfield. They'll push it over to where Irish is lurking to collect possession themselves. They missed the boost on the way through. Still Bad Karma's ball for the time being as Jack pinches it off the sidewall, looking to direct it goalwards, and they may have the next touch as well. Gets the 50. It's only over to the far side, not on goal. Demo in midfield from Sizer, but they tap it back to Morgan Zeitung, and they'll have to retreat again. They could have had a quick counter-attack there, but now Morgan Zeitung trying to come over the top, and Jack takes it away. Gets past Sizer in midfield, one-on-one with Wi-Fi, and it's a good save out to the corner to keep it 1-1.
It's a good save, and now they're looking to transition out of it. Reese on the side, well, misses that one, and Irish tees up Sizer with the shot. Jack is already at the back post where he belongs, and saves that one now. Morgan Zeitung gets the good 50 there for Wi-Fi against the back, but Sizer already up. Can he get the drop? No, he can't. Reese and Irish both there for the block, and Jack just puts it out of danger. Now Reese, can he recover? Yes, he can, and gets the ball awkwardly into the ceiling. Morgan Zeitung has to put it into midfield where Wi-Fi is taking that on. Sizer coming off the back. Well, that's a bad touch. Morgan Zeitung has to deal with it. Can't do so, and Irish says, thank you very much, and takes it 2-1 now for Bad Karma.
Here we go again. Bad Karma lead in the late stages of the game. They already let one goal lead slip away in the previous one. They simply cannot afford to let this one go by them. So here we go, next kickoff coming through, and they need to make an immediate impact to set ILV Purple on the back foot. It's over the halfway line, and Irish keeps it moving. Jack is in there looking for the shot. Wi-Fi clears it out to Reese, and the shot goes wide. Still danger in front of the ILV Purple net. Sizer without boost will have to make the clear, and Morgan Zeitung misses it. Reese will try and put it back into the centre, but Bad Karma are immediately applying pressure.
Bad Karma are trying to do what they could not do before, and that is close out a game without the need of overtime. But Morgan Zeitung on the back of that one, Sizer into the corner, and now ILV Purple trying their damnness to get a win here in game number 2. As Jack has a sitter but misses it. It's still dangerous. Sizer's up, gets it around 1. Can he get it around Reese? No, he can't, but Wi-Fi is there. The pass to Morgan Zeitung is good. Reese with the miss on the backboard, but it doesn't get punished. Never punished by ILV Purple, and Bad Karma take game number 3. It's now 2-1 for ILV Purple in the series.
As soon as Jack missed that, I was thinking equaliser in my head. It would have been so typical for ILV Purple to go out the other end and tie the game, and they came very close to doing so, but didn't manage it. It's a huge victory for Bad Karma here in Game 3 of the series. They are back in it now. They'll have an opportunity to tie it up in the next one. And, well, looking at the stats, my first indication of this one, low shooting game, just 4 shots to 3 in favour of Bad Karma. Very back and forth, but it suited the team in blue.
Yeah, maybe that's exactly what they tried to, that's the environment they tried to create in the earlier games, but ILV Purple just too strong before, and this time they made it work. Some of the less accurate ILV Purple, less efficient ILV Purple here, and they do get punished. So if Bad Karma can do that again, they might have an opportunity here, but ILV Purple looking still hella strong in this game number 3, even though they've lost this one.
And guess who's back, joining the lobby in between games? Breezel is here for ILV Purple. They make the tactical substitution. Let's see if it pays off for them in this one. Breezel, of course, a main roster player for the duration of the season, surely will have an impact for them.
Yeah, it's always difficult to adjust to a sub that's being made during the series. So, but it could also backfire on other pub. They've seen they've lost and they've lost the offensive pressure. So maybe now they can make it work again. As Breezel takes it to Wi-Fi. Got a lot of space to work with, but Jack coming in from the side. Wi-Fi now with the open net still, and he does put it away. 9 seconds, and ILV Purple take an early lead in game number 4.
Good start for them. It's not the worst clearance from Jack. The problem was that there was nobody there to follow up on the goal line as the shot came in. And ILV Purple have the lead 10 seconds in. Let's see if they can expand upon it here. It really set the tone for the remainder of this game. It does feel like any opportunity that the teams have had to take hold of the momentum so far, they've been pegged back by defensive miscues.
And defensive issues nearly happening again here from Breezel. But Sizer now with an almost open net. Breezel will take it home, and it's 2-0 for ILV Purple. It is just that easy to score in Rocket League sometimes.
Nice through ball there from Sizer, and Breezel ultimately had a relatively open goal. Reese was close to it, but not close enough. And, well, maybe the substitution has had an impact here. ILV Purple, 2 goals in the opening 30 seconds of the game. Can they add to this further? Bad Karma have taken the kickoff win this time, and Irish gets the corner boost as well. Reese will keep it in for the time being, but Breezel, an excellent interception there. Up from midfield, and it's Wi-Fi! 3-0.
ILV Purple are on a mission, and the mission is demolish Bad Karma by any means necessary. And they do so perfectly in this first 30 seconds of the game, or 34 seconds, with 3 goals immediately back to back to back. No one of the Bad Karma defenders can even come close to the save here, and they have to figure out something fast against this very aggressive ILV Purple side, because right now it's not looking fancy for them.
Well, if the teams are going to exchange goals in quick fashion, Bad Karma have got to participate in that a little bit. There's still plenty of time for them in this game, even though they've conceded 3 in quick succession early on. 4 whole minutes is plenty to muster a 3-goal comeback, and they're doing the right thing here. They are on the attack for the time being. Can they find the finishing product? Breezel turns it against the post and out. Now without boost up to the halfway line, Jack takes possession straight back. Sizer is in there to make the clearance, perhaps in the direction of Wi-Fi. Jack looks for the demo, hits the post and cleared on the rebound.
The demo was the correct play to go there, but it didn't work, unfortunately, because he didn't have the post read due to the smoke screen. But it is showing that Bad Karma are not giving up this game number 4, and they are trying their damnness to get back into this now. Reese on the backboard with the shot off the narrow angle. Hello, this is not Division 4 standard, what we usually see. This is better than that, and Bad Karma show why they were first in league play.
3-1 now. Still 3:29 on the clock, and Bad Karma have put the foot down. They want to try and get back into this game now. What better way than another kickoff goal, perhaps? Reese does take it out to the wing. Sizer pulls it straight back in, and this is actually headed on goal. Jack has to tap it away into the corner and takes a team bump there. Reese will have to cut across midfield and try and make the interception, but it's Breezel instead. Off the back wall for Sizer! 4-1 to ILV Purple. That's going to hurt for Bad Karma.
And the 3-goal lead is immediately reinstated as Sizer just has the read better than both of the defenders, and brilliant placement as well in the bottom left corner. Even if there was a defender still in the net, I don't think that would have been saved. Great shot from him, power, accuracy, everything there, as Sizer now again trying to make something happen here on offense. Jack cuts it out though, as now Reese is up only as far as into the corner, and none of his teammates are there to help him out. Breezel in the air, got a lot of time to work with, gets it underneath one. Sizer takes it over into the sidewall, but it bounces down nicely to Reese, who can just clang it downfield. Can he get back on the end of it? Yes, he can, and the ball's bouncing dangerously in the mid. Irish is there, but the shot is wide into the corner. Now Breezel can take control. Irish on the far side. Does he take the turn? No, he does not. And if he does so a bit late. Double commit now from the Bad Karma players. Jack left all alone. Breezel against the backboard. Is there someone up? No, there is no follow-up here. But there doesn't need to be a follow-up, because there's a double commit on the Bad Karma side. And Wi-Fi punishes that with the 5th goal of ILV Purple.
The shot bar down there from Wi-Fi, and that's just something that you love to see if you're an ILV Purple player. It's a little holistic sign that the game is going your way, and now a 4-goal lead for them at the halfway point. They're looking in control at the moment, and why not add more goals to this total? This is a real statement in the context of the series as a whole. If they do go on to take this game, they will be on match point. Jack wins it back on the right wing as Bad Karma are looking to get their way back into this. Breezel clears it as far as the halfway line. Irish taps it back in. Sizer hope to send it straight back, but we've got a bit of ping pong in midfield and Bad Karma come out in possession. Rice misses it. Irish try to put it back in, but they haven't managed to turn the shot goalwards yet.
But the shot is coming now onto net, but Jack doesn't get the correct pinch there. Pinched it outwards rather than inwards as Wi-Fi adjusts his car mid-flip and can't get it past the last defender. Not enough power on the shot. Adries over 1. Can he get over 2? No, he cannot. Sizer now takes control of that one. Wi-Fi without boost and with an inaccurate pass to his teammate. Not successful here. Reese tries to get it to his teammate. Goes for the solo play instead, and the ball is now dangerously in the mid. Irish with a weak shot, but both defenders commit, and Jack says thank you very much. Once again, a defensive double commit leading to a goal here, and this time it is in favor of Bad Karma.
Yeah, the initial shot there from Irish, it didn't look great on paper, but the reality is it was a delicate chip that pulled both defenders into that area. It was not a particular portion of the goal where it was clearly one person's ball. And Bad Karma were there to capitalise on that. Now down by 3. Can they be down by 2 here in the quick goal? They've got possession back again. It will fall for Reese in midfield. The pile driver is saved by Wi-Fi off the backboard, and ILV Purple will get it out.
ILV Purple clear the lines, and they have to do something really quick because they're just letting Bad Karma back into the series, just mentally giving them an upper edge here as they go into game number 5, even though they might be winning this game. If you let the opponent back, you need to crush them. And they're trying that as the ball rolls dangerously across the net. Reese is there, though, with the clear. And is there with the follow-up as well. Can Wi-Fi get on the end of it? Yes, it's an easy ball for him. Down to Sizer as well. Now Breezel takes control. Gets it over 1. Gets it to Sizer in the corner. And the pass is mid. But the shot gets blocked. And it wasn't on target to begin with either. So Bad Karma, I think they've pretty much seen, okay, they can't make anything happen in game number 4, so they have to go for game number 5 as the ball again dangerously against the backboard, but no follow-up here from ILV Purple.
Consolation goal perhaps for Bad Karma, but they're not in any position to get it right now as ILV Purple cranking up the pressure, looking for a 6th goal in this game. Double commit there on defense from Bad Karma, might just open up the field, but it's going to be Irish getting it back actually. One-on-one with Sizer headed the other way, tried to go underneath the defender, and the save was made there as ILV Purple in the final 10 seconds of this game. Excellent performance from them here in game 4 of the series. They've been good value for this, and Breezel came in as a substitute. It was a huge performance from them, but they are going to concede one more goal here. The final score will be 5-3.
The final score 5-3 in game number 4 as Wi-Fi just puts the one in just because he can, I guess. ILV Purple just living because of their very, very strong start of those first 30 seconds, just where they just overran the Bad Karma defense with shot after shot and precise shot after precise shot. So, but during the latter half of the game, I think Bad Karma adjusted to Breezel being on the field, and they've sort of had ILV Purple's number in the latter half, I'd argue.
Yeah, Breezel missing out on MVP there by a single point, which I believe, funnily enough, was the 2 points that Wi-Fi acquired in scoring the own goal to finish off the game. So do whatever you can, I guess. But ILV Purple on the brink now of taking this series victory and moving on to the final. They were actually outshot 13-10 in that game, but as you mentioned, clinical finishing in the first 30 seconds or so, and they ended up riding that one out to the victory.
Yeah, now they are on series point in this best of 7. They're leading 3-1 as we head into game number 5 here on Wasteland. Bad Karma now, their backs are against the wall. If they somehow want to get into that grand final directly, they just have to turn around somehow. But you mentioned the defense earlier. I feel like the defense just was solid, a bit more solid, but I think the communications is a way bigger issue for them. So do you think they maybe just need to calm down on the comps as well?
Well, the good news for Bad Karma is that they've been here before in league play. They came from 2-1 down to win the series in 5 games. So they've been in this exact position. Of course, it's a little more tricky now being 3-1 instead of a 2-1 deficit. But the way that they need to play is the same. They've got to try and stay calm here. Even if they do lose this series, they need to think of the bigger picture. They'll still be in this, in the lower brackets. They've just got to try and stay calm. And as you mentioned, keep the comms going. You're still in this series until the final buzzer sounds and ILV Purple take game 4.
Yeah, exactly. The series is far from over. Anything can happen, especially if the teams are so closely matched. As now Brizzle takes it into middle to Wi-Fi. Can't make the contact here in the end. Jack takes it down. Lets Irish take it over, but Brizzle already up and putting pressure on the Bad Karma defense. Sizer with a demo as well. Just piling on the pressure, looking for a strong start here. Wi-Fi puts it back in. Bit dangerous, but no problem for Irish to get the clear. Brizzle takes control-ish, but gets beaten by Reese comfortably in the air as Wi-Fi finds himself in his own corner with low boost.
Now ILV Purple will get it back again, and Breezel tries to kickstart a counter-attack, and Irish has missed this one. Breezel trying to go over the top of Reese, and Reese made the clear. Up to halfway it goes, where Sizer will try and put it back in. The calculated ball in, but cleared out, and now Bad Karma 1-on-2 here as Jack tried to take it over the top, but didn't get the shot on target they were hoping for. Irish puts it back into the mixer, and nobody is on hand to turn it home for Bad Karma. They've got to start going more Route 1, I feel, instead of making these passing plays happen. They simply need to take the lead as soon as possible and start to play their game more.
They are trying their hardest to take the lead. It's been 0 shots, so it's a bit more of a repetition of game number 3, where we've seen Bad Karma walk away with the win, and they might do here as well, but Reese just misses that area. That was a sitter. He needs to have that, but a lot of team ups coming out as a result here. A lot of panic on the goal line as Jack now puts it underneath the crossbar. That's exactly what Bad Karma needed. Goal and a lead in game number 5.
Yeah, huge. That is absolutely clutch there, and Irish, you could argue, takes 70% of the credit for that one, as all 3 defenders were in that corner, and Irish still found the pass into the middle. 1-0 now to Bad Karma. Let's see how ILV Purple respond to this. They were very much in control from start to finish in the previous one. Not looking good for them at the moment, but that was a pretty open goal, and Irish ended up scuffing it wide.
The scuffer is again out from Irish. He's been missing a lot of these sitters, but he won't miss this dunk on the defender. I mean, if you can do the hard goals, why would you ever consider doing the easy goals as well?
2-0 with 2:51 to go. It's looking good for Bad Karma in a game that they must win to stay alive in the series. They'll hope to force Game 7. It's a long road to go for them yet, but a multi-goal lead here in this game is a good cushion for them. They may have blown it immediately as Sizer puts it back in. Open net for them, and they put it onto the post and wide.
The open net, the easiest yet also hardest thing in Rocket League, as shown perfectly by both teams here. Why players feel like it's harder to score an open net than it is to score a goal with the defender in hand. But they cannot be distracted from that one. They have to just bury those shots. They have to bury them in the goal. Just get the accuracy down, get the power down, and make something happen now. Brezel is up, gets the power, and the defender was there, but he wasn't quick enough. The power was there, accuracy a bit lacking, but it was good enough. 2-1 now in favor of Bad Karma.
Well, there is a lifeline in this one for ILV Purple. The shot was not particularly placed to any corner, but when it comes in at 133 kph, does it really matter? And now a 1-goal deficit for ILV Purple to contend with. They've won this kickoff as well. Breeze will got it out to the wing. Reese will step up to make the clear, and it's a good one in the direction of Wi-Fi. Ping pong back over to the far corner, where they'll hope to get an extra touch on it. That's looking good. A lofted pass into the midfield. Irish is the player that takes it away instead.
Irish takes it away instead, but Brizzle already on the other side, waiting for that long clear. It's Reese again deep into the enemy corner, but can't really get on the end of his own touch, and no follow-up as well from his teammates. Wi-Fi takes control, looks for Brizzle in mid. Brizzle beats on Irish, but Reese is already there in position. Sizer now looking for Wi-Fi. The ball's not going to hit the ceiling, and it's making it awkward. Wi-Fi gets a touch though to Brizzle. He's taking control in the corner. Gets the flick over one, gets demos for his effort, but Reese can't really deal with it properly. Jack needs to step in there and help out his teammate. But the pressure is not going. Brizzle again into the corner. Now Wi-Fi and him both on the back line. And in the opponent's corner is a bit awkward as Sizer puts on a high lofty pass. Reese clears it, and Bad Karma are holding on for dear life as ILV Purple just mounts more and more pressure here.
Now the next opportunity may come as Wi-Fi intercepts this. Oh, and it hits the corner of the post. Big opportunity for them. They're still coming though. Sizer put one over to the far stick. Wi-Fi was not on hand to turn it home. They cross it yet again. This time Bad Karma will get a better clearance all the way into the offensive third at the other end. Jack misses that one. Irish steps into the play instead. Looking for the bumps headed the other way. Wi-Fi sends themselves down the wing hoping for a through ball, and they don't get it. ILV Purple back onto the attack as Sizer puts it into the middle, but They haven't managed to commit 2 men forwards too often in the last minute or so.
Yeah, they're just very, very timid. They're making sure that one man is always back to get the long clear, but it doesn't work out for them as there's a lofty ball nearly heading in for the top bins. Just gets cleared by Wi-Fi, and Side's now coming back again, but it gets demoed. Irish, can he turn? Yes, he can, but he backs away his teammate, and Irish and Jack just completely whiff on that one. They're still in the lead though, but they're giving Wi-Fi a lot of space. Breezel losing connection in the last 5 minutes. We're going to continue the game here as the ball is going to drop 2-1 in favor of Bad Karma. That was a handful in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that one, but for Bad Karma, yet again, they fluffed their lines in an opportunity to seal the deal and take the game win. And then ILV Purple go the other way and they can't equalise for themselves. Well, that's the magic of Div 4. But Bad Karma are back into this series now. They forced a Game 6. They looked good in this one. It's another win for them in a game where they've kept ILV Purple to a low shots total and only taken 4 shots themselves. That seems to be the key for them.
Yeah, keeping the shooting low and seems to be very much in favor of Bad Karma, who seem to be a bit more clinical with their shooting. We see Wi-Fi, especially, I think, hitting the crossbar once or twice this game. But yeah, it's a bit difficult to say what exactly went right here because it was such a mess at times. It was such a mess just in front of the goal in defense. A lot of miscommunication. ILV Purple just being very, very timid, sitting way deep, and yeah, I don't really know. ILV Purple just have to move out more to get some offensive pressure going because they're losing it when when 2 players are just waiting all the way in defense.
I think the intensity may have let off a little bit for ILV Purple, of course. You never make a conscious decision to ease off the gas pedal a little bit, but it can seep into your game when you get a lead in the series that's looking particularly good. And 3-1 for them was a solid one. 3-2 is now not looking quite as comfy. So the first goal of this game is more important in this one than I think it has been at any other point in the series.
Yes, we have to redo the lobby and wait for one of the ILV players. Of course, Breezel has his PC crash on him, so we're gonna hope that they're gonna be back as soon as possible. We're gonna redo the lobby real quick, but how do we? I mean, Bad Karma now, they have the momentum. There's obviously puts a bit of a spanner in the works here for Bad Karma. But do you think how do they want to keep that momentum going for the rest of the series?
Well, the low shooting for Bad Karma was the most important aspect of their game when play began to disintegrate a little bit for ILV Purple. Bad Karma have certainly shown that they're capable of capitalising on loose balls in midfield and then taking control of it and coming up with a clinical finish themselves. ILV Purple have gotten a lot of their goals in this series from just hammering the opposition net with pressure. We saw that in the previous game with the quick 3 goals to open up a third game win of the series for ILV Purple. So that's why I mentioned the first goal. It feels like if Bad Karma were to get it and then suddenly they're playing the same as they did in the previous game, they can just afford to step up into midfield a little bit more and make more interceptions and prevent ILV Purple from connecting on passing plays. Whereas if it goes the other way and Bad Karma have to come out of their shell more as opposed to stepping up when they want to, ILV Purple will be given more opportunity in possession to do their thing.
Yeah, you do not want to let ILV Purple do their thing because, as they've shown, they can be very, very deadly indeed on offense. But they just need a lot more shots than the opposition do, and that is the key for Bad Karma. Just challenge without fear. Challenge them in the midfield, challenge them in the air, and do not let them go into the short shooting opportunities because they will put some away. And even if a defender is there, as Breezel just showed in the last game, someone will have the power on the shot to just make it unsavable.
Well, I'm curious to see if ILV Purple will return here with a changed roster. If so, it may not be even a tactical change, but one that they've been forced into out of necessity after the Breezel disconnect in the previous one. It worked for them earlier in the series, but I'm not so sure about making a substitution here in Game 6. Whoever does come in for this one is going to be up against it in a series where the intensity is really ratcheting up.
Yeah, the intensity is ratcheting up, and this breather, I think it favors Bad Karma more than it does ILV Purple, because ILV Purple had a real sense of urgency at the back end of that game number 5. They really wanted to make something happen, couldn't do so successfully, but they needed to go on quickly and just ride that wave of momentum that they've garnered that they garnered in that last like half a minute there of game 5. And now this break, this forced break and pretty much out of their control break, I think it's helping Bad Karma more than it does ILV Purple, because Bad Karma can now focus back up again and let the adrenaline calm down a bit and not be too adrenaline filled, and just be ultra focused on this on their upcoming task here.
And the wait goes on, at least for the time being, so perhaps just an opportunity to remind you of what's coming up next in the Division 4 playoffs. Disconnected Esports Epsilon taking on FC Netney in the lower bracket on the hour, possibly not on the hour, as delays seem to be coming through now, but the 3rd and 4th seeds here, and Bad Karma down in the series for the time being. If they end up in the lower bracket, it won't be ideal for them. They've got an opportunity to turn it around, but I do feel like both of these teams, it's been a bit iffy at times, but I wouldn't be disappointed to see them both return to the final.
I mean, they've shown that they both have the quality to beat probably both NetNeed and Disconnected Esports Epsilon, and I think they've both beaten them in league play as well. So they can definitely make it back into the grand final where they'll meet a second time. But first, they have to go through, and going through here is so important because it gives you that one game lead in this best of 7. Because we, of course, don't do bracket resets here. So the upper bracket team just starts with 1 goal advantage, and that's going to be really huge coming in, especially if it's so closely matched.
Just taking a look at prior results, Bad Karma actually lost in 4 games to FC Netney, so I'm sure they'll be licking their chops if Bad Karma end up in the lower bracket as a potential path to the final. But of course, that's all hypotheticals, as we are still here in the first match, but ILV Purple yet to return. Concern might be seeping in for them now that they may have to forfeit this series, which is not how they're going to want to go down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, and coming to the lower bracket is going to be incredibly scary, because you've had your one life that you've got because you played well in league play, but any knockout matches gets that much more pressure, and it puts that much more pressure onto yourself. So both Bad Karma and ILV Purple desperately want to avoid that, especially ILV Purple, given that they seem to have some sort of technical issues creeping in here. It's gonna be mentally very fatiguing now, especially for Breezel, who has to come back, because of course with their substitution earlier, they are not allowed to do one more substitution, so it has to be Breezel that's coming back after his PC crashed. So all the best for him. He has 6 more minutes here to get back into the lobby. Otherwise, we're gonna have to call it off. But I think if he can get it back in, he will be full of determination to just make it happen, to give his PC a lot more breathing time before now and the grand finals.
It will be a worry, of course, though, for ILV Purple. I suppose the positive that they can at least take out of it, if they do manage to get back in here in time, is Bad Karma. They're sat here in the lobby. They've hardly had an opportunity to head off and, head into training and try and keep themselves warm heading into this one. I think 5 odd minutes ago, the confidence for them will have been running high, but this gap is not good for anyone.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder what is going on. I've just heard from Breezel that his PC isn't restarting right now, so the technical problems could have been a lot more gravitas than we first imagined.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be really, really sad if they lose it in that fashion. But of course, no one forced them to the substitution earlier, so they're gonna live in the bet that they've made for themselves. If he does come back, I think they're gonna be stressed, and I think that game 6 is just gonna be about coming back into it and possibly just writing it off even for ILV Purple, and going to the game 7 knowing that everything works and knowing that everything just is as it should be, because I don't see, with them rushing back in, I don't see them winning a game 6 necessarily against a much more calmed down and relaxed Bad Karma side.
Well, I make it 3 minutes now until the forfeit win is applied and Bad Karma move on to the final itself. It wouldn't be the fashion that they'd want for it to happen, no doubt, but I don't think beggars can be choosers in the situation like this where they're down in Game 6. They'd probably just take the gift and hope they can earn their victory outright when the time comes for the grand final.
Yeah, I mean, of course you never want to win like that. You never want to win because of like technical issues with your opponents, but that's the nature of the game. You get what you're given, so I guess Bad Karma will definitely take it and might be going to the grand final here. And if they do so, they might be expecting ILV Purple back, and we could have the 7-game clash that we all want to see. But as of right now, I think with the time ticking down, it's getting more and more likely that ILV Purple just won't be able to make it back in time.
And that is a real shame for them and for everyone who's watching here as well in this first series of the Div 4 playoffs. It wouldn't be the fashion that we'd want it to finish, but of course, technical difficulties, there isn't much that you can do about that. And the positive that ILV Purple can take from it is at least their good performances in league play coming in the top 2 has meant that this is not costing them their playoff lives as such, and they will be back in the lower bracket if they can respond in time on the technical difficulties.
Yeah, and as well in the lower bracket they can play with Morgenzeitung, so at least they don't have to rely on Bretzel for that one. But right now it's a real shame here. But it's still you can't forget it is still a competitive environment. We still want to see the players play, but at the end of the day, a winner has to be crowned, and a winner in this case will be going to Div 3 if they win the grand final, and that is something worth playing for. And I think both teams, regardless of how this is ending now, both teams have definitely shown in this series that they are both very much capable of playing in Div 3, and that they've shown that they can have Div 3 potential.
Well, we are into the very final seconds of the forfeit countdown now, and there is still no signs of life from ILV Purple. It looks like this is going to be all she wrote for the opening series of the playoffs, and we may well be looking ahead to Disconnected Esports Epsilon and FC NetNeat.
Yeah, as we can now confirm that Bad Karma do indeed take the forfeit victory here. Very unfortunate. I mean, it really sucks because we have had a great series and a great scrap between those two teams. As Bad Karma now move on to the grand final, and in the next match, a bit of a preview, hopefully without technical difficulties this time, we're going to have Disconnected Esports Epsilon versus FC NetNeat in the lower bracket. So what do you expect of that game?
Well, it was a 3-0 victory for Disconnected Esports Epsilon in league play. A huge result between two teams that ended up finishing so close together in the table. Of course, I played against both of these teams, and Disconnected Esports Epsilon was it was a closer series than certainly the top 2 was for us at Pro-Am United. And unlike these top 2 teams, of course, there are weaknesses in the games of the 3rd and 4th place sides, but these playoffs still provide an opportunity for them to get themselves all the way to the final, but it's a much more difficult path than what Bad Karma and ILV Purple have had to go through. So there's a lot on the line here, and in any lower bracket series, it's super intense between the two teams, and it's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, and we will be back for that one very shortly. Give it about like 2 or 3 minutes. I hope we can still start somewhat on time, but for now, I've been Machtfish. I have been joined by our partners, Rocket Sundays admin Herbie, and of course, our resident Div 4 expert. We'll see you in about 2 or 3 minutes after a short break, and then you'll be greeted by Herbie, and coming on for me is Mikey. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.